I'm going to be making Lego Marvel minifigures medieval. Let's get into it.
First up is Doctor Strange. I use this book from Wanda from the Lego Marvel Series 1 minifigures. This like orange transparent dish. And let me take these off so you can see the legs, which are from, I don't know, like the Dungeons & Dragons minifigure from the first series. It's this guy right here, number 2. I have no idea what his name is, but these legs would work really well for Doctor Strange for the style I'm going for with like all the printing all around. This torso came from Doctor Strange from Avengers Infinity War with these arms from the ship captain from series 23. And this cape comes from this guy from Dungeons & Dragons. I don't know who any of the names are, so for all the pieces in this video, I'm just going to say from Dungeons & Dragons, and I don't know, all the pieces are different, so you'll be able to tell. This hair comes from Doctor Strange from 2016. This head comes from Doctor Strange from 2021, and all the Doctor Strange that we're getting previously. And yeah, that's our first custom. Next up is Spider-Man. I use the legs, arms, and torso from Spider-Man from No Way Home with a black hood, the head from Andrew Garfield Spider-Man from the Statue of Liberty set, and just this plain red cape, and I think this figure actually came out pretty good. Next up we have Iron Man, and instead of going for the more common red and gold look, I went for more of a like neutral grayish to like dark gray look for Iron Man, which looks a little like War Machine, but I don't know, I think that this figure came out pretty good. We use this head from one of the Iron Man Armory sets, the normal Tony Stark head, and then if you take this off, then this like jetpack piece with a blue 1x1 stud to represent the arc reactor. This torso also came from an Iron Man Hall of Armor set. I believe this is Iron Man Mark II. The legs, the legs came from Iron Man Mark 1, and the arms came from a Dungeons & Dragons figure. So I'll put this back together real quick so you can see what Iron Man looks like in a medieval style. Next up we have Black Panther, and I used the head and torso from Black Panther with this like Kraven the Hunter hood piece. These arms come from Spider-Man, the Inside Out suit, and these legs come from Iron Man. Next up we have Star-Lord, and for his accessories I gave him this small little golden pistol, which I don't know if they had guns in the medieval times, but I think it looks good. Groot with his little Ravager outfit on to match Star-Lord. I'm gonna take that off, take this guy off, and the legs come from Yondu. This cape, like in the back, comes from Scarlet Witch. This torso comes from Rocket Raccoon with this like golden shoulder piece. This head comes from Star-Lord, and this hair comes from Green Goblin from the No Way Home set. Here's Wanda, which her minifigure looks a lot like the Series 1 Marvel Wanda, but I tried to make it as different as I could. The legs, arms, and cape come from the Scarlet Witch from Series 1. The leg cloak comes from Scarlet Witch from the Captain America Civil War Airport battle. This hairpiece comes from the Sanctum Sanctorum, and this headpiece comes from Supergirl. Now getting into some of the mutants, I used the normal Wolverine claws, hair, and head for him. The same Kraven the Hunter hood piece that I used for Black Panther. And this gesture outfit, I don't know what series it came from, maybe 17, but it came from a knight. And I think that works really well for Wolverine for his classic black and yellow look. And then if you wanted to, you could take off the hair, head, and that piece, and then put on this and his cowl if you wanted him to have a masked look. Going again with the mutants, I made Deadpool using this axe from one of the barbarians from Dungeons & Dragons with this plain gray shield. I'm going to take these off so you can see the figure better. The torso and legs comes from the Dungeons & Dragons minifigure with this just plain black cape with these shoulder pads from Ninjago, so that way you get these nice golden accents that's still able to hold his katanas. The arms come from Mr. Incredible, and the head comes from Deadpool. And then we have Beast using the Wolverine claws, but in gold. The legs come from Doctor Strange, the head and torso come from Beast, and then the hair mold that goes like all the way down is from Proxima Midnight from Avengers Infinity War. Then we have Magneto, where the legs come from one of the Wonder Twins. The belt comes from Huntress from the LEGO DC minifigure series. I believe that these arms came on the Crayola Crayon Girl, but I may be mistaken. This torso with like the muscles and the same sand purple come from the Calculator from the LEGO Batman movie. This plain purple cape with this like red like kind of shoulder pad thing, like the same one that I used on Star-Lord but in red. And then this like cape comes from the Wonder Twins, and instead of having it like go up like how it usually does, I have it fold down so that it gives Magneto's cape a bit more of just like the menacing look. And then the head and helmet come from the X-Mansion set. And then we have Ant-Man, where the legs come from Hawkeye, the helmet comes from Ant-Man, and this like big shoulder pad piece comes from Dungeons and Dragons. And then if you take that off, then you use Star-Lord's head or Bucky Barnes' head, whichever one you want. And then underneath I have the same like dwarf like torso and arms that I used for Deadpool's axe. So let me put this back together real quick, and then I'll show you how Ant-Man looks one last time. Here's Venom. I wanted to give him more of like a cloaked look and more of kind of like a witch kind of. So I used the like gown piece from Dungeons and Dragons with the torso from Corvus Glaive, this cape from Batman, this plain black hood, and then just the basic Venom head from all the Marvel sets that we've gotten over the years. Next we have Loki, which I used just the plain golden scepter that we've been getting on like all the Loki figures with this little dagger from Dungeons and Dragons. Let me move these so you can see the figure better. And then these legs, I'm not sure what Batman figure they come on, but they come on like the Scottish Batman that I believe came in a book. These arms, head, and crown came from Loki, with this torso that came from Mordo from Doctor Strange with this plain dark green cape. And then for Thor, I don't know what legs these come on, maybe Hawkeye, just these plain like black legs with a little bit of printing on it just to give him more of like an armored look. This torso comes from Thor, not sure which one, but then this hammer comes from the Viking Village set just to give Mjolnir a bit more like detail. This cape that's pretty similar to Batman's. I'm not sure where I got this from. I just know that I have it and it's red. This crown piece comes from Jane Foster from like the Thor boat from Love and Thunder, and then this is the normal 2012 Thor head. There's Thor. And lastly we have Captain America. I used the shield and this sword just from normal LEGO sets, but this shield has come on many Captain America figures. And this sword, you can really just use any common sword. Then these legs come from the Series 24 like Archer minifigure. The torso comes from the like 2014 Captain America figures with these shoulder pads from Dungeons and Dragons. The head and hair, I believe, come from a Luke Skywalker minifigure. I'm not too sure. I just know that on the other side he has a closed eyes. And then if you lift that up, then you can give him his mask for like a masked look. And then this cape comes from the Org minifigure from Series 24.
And that's it for this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe for more.